People are really enjoying these leopards ate my face posts. So let me give the people what they want. So this one is simply titled Amazing. And this is a quote from Reuters saying, U.S. Muslim leaders backed Donald Trump in protest against Joe Biden's support for Israel. Trump's cabinet picks are not what they hoped for. This is all they posted here. I didn't go looking for the article. I've already talked about these people having buyer's remorse. But let's look at some of the comments. Great Canadian Wizard says, Aw, did your voting decision have consequences in your life that could have been avoided had you done even a modicum of research? Apprehensive Fruit says, absolutely no sympathy for them. He was terrible to Muslims in his last term, and now he, shocked Pikachu face, is going to continue doing that. You reap what you effing sow. Bledick says, yeah, they're not serious people. So this post was posted back to back with that other post saying Muslims for Trump are now finding out why turkeys do not vote for Christmas and about Christmas. So this is the tweet. Muslims who voted for Trump upset by his pro-Israel cabinet picks. Trump won because of us. They are the reason. This is what this person says. Trump won because of us. And we're not happy with his Secretary of State pick and others, said Rabial Chaudhry, who chaired the Abandon Harris campaign in Pennsylvania. Muslims helped Trump win in Michigan as well. There was an Abandon Harris campaign. Abandon Harris. Now, when people run to my page to get mad at me for highlighting this, I'm going to suggest that you go to the people of Abandon Harris and the Muslims that helped Trump win in Michigan as well, because I am reporting on this because, like this person says, Trump won because of us. Now, you won this vote. Now you get to sit and get comfortable in how you helped him win. You won. Yay. Go you. Zetra says, zoo veterinarians, what the F is going on with all the obese leopards? And Kento says, this is US's Brexit moment. Wildly varying groups with contrasting priorities, voting for the same vague thing and to burn the system down, expecting things cannot get worse. Only, in my opinion, and I consider Brexit the stupidest project in human history, this is arguably stupider, and he wasn't really that vague. He told you more than enough to make sure nobody sane votes for him, and he had a disastrous first term with 1.2 million dead, partially due to the disinformation his side spread and increasing the national debt by an order of magnitude more than any previous president. It's funny right here. He said he wasn't really that vague. He wasn't really vague. So all of these people that have voted for him have voted for this. And we're going to just keep showing you, you voted for this. So this is a screenshot from the conservative subreddit, and it was posted in the Leopards subreddit saying, be offended when Matt Gaetz, Trump's new attorney general, referred to women at abortion rallies as ugly and overweight. Okay, so first of all, he is the nominee for attorney general. We don't know if he's going to get that. But this woman right here did get offended. She's, y'all, she said the name calling is getting too childish. It's just getting out of control, as if these people haven't been name calling since the beginning. All right. The name calling is just getting too childish. I consider myself ugly, and I'm a bigger gal that's on the conservative side. Not every big person acts like those on the left, and not every conservative woman is a skinny model. I have health issues that helped add to my weight, and I've been trying to get it under control. I already have a ton of the left treating me like because I support Trump. I don't need the right also treating me like because of my size. Stop lumping us all together and treat people like human beings. These people are amazing. It's like they're perfectly fine when the insults are on those other people, but as soon as it turns inward, it's like galling. Like, how dare you? Not all of us. I mean, treat me like a human. Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay. I was interested in what these conservative people in the subreddit said about the Matt Gaetz nomination. Elite Jassison says, It's not going to happen, but I wouldn't mind if Gaetz is being set up as a sacrifice for Trump's other picks. The reality is that there are plenty, and I mean plenty, of much more qualified candidates for this position. My hope is that this turns into a negotiation of, okay, I'll take Gaetz off, but you have to give me my other appointments. His legal and moral issues aside, which are very real, there needs to be more behind a pick than owning the libs. And you're acting like this man is really playing chess or something. He's not. This is literally like he really has a game plan. He says being set up as a sacrifice for Trump's other picks. That's acting like he has a real game plan in this and he's not just appointing loyalists. But Uncle Milty says it's the only thing that makes sense. Why would you pick a guy who has literally publicly sent money to a convicted ex-trafficker of minors to be the head of national law enforcement? Trump is either crazy like a fox, he's thinking, or caught RFK's brainworms. I don't see any in between. He picked him because they are the same. Trump is this type of person that doesn't worry about consent or anything. He is an SAer. So the people in his orbit will feel the same or do the same or basically be the same. This person who's called sane sociopath says, it might sound a little weird, but I almost trust Gaetz more in this regard to others. Sure, he has the allegations, but he's been investigated by a DOJ that would love to have made an example of him and was cleared. As for if there were political games, though, either there's already a deal in place as Gaetz wasn't making friends in Congress, and this gets him out of their hair. He's a sacrifice or statement of intent that will be made. Little Marco's Senate replacement, if or when rejected, or despite winning his seat again, he wants to instead focus on a governor run when DeSantis is termed out in 2 years. They're really acting like this is a game plan. Uncle Milty said, you're right. It sounds really weird. Not being charged is not the same as being cleared. Probably sleazy, but not quite enough to guarantee a conviction is not the bar I would hope for the man in charge of the nation's law enforcement apparatus. Yeah, that this is not a good thing, and this is not a game play. These people are still really acting like this was part of a game plan. Icy Dice says, also, Trump got him to resign from Congress, which could have been part of his goal as well. I think Meghan McCain is having some regrets. I'm not sure. This is simply titled Meghan is Still Talking. So that implies that she has had more to say because it says is still talking. She says, why are we not allowed to know about potential criminal behavior from an attorney general nominee? Is the Trump cult of personality that strong for Speaker Johnson that he actually thinks this is rational? Yes, Meghan. The Trump cult is very, very strong. Have you not been paying attention all of these years? You are wild for even asking this question. And this was released yesterday. House Speaker Mike Johnson pushes ethics committee to keep Matt Gaetz's report secret. So this Christian conservative, extra traditional Christian, I love Jesus, wants to make sure that we don't see the secrets of Matt Gaetz, who could have been possibly participating in statutory rape because this girl is supposedly or was supposedly 17 at the time. But we have a Republican GOP Christian that's like, no, hide this. We don't need to see these allegations. So it says Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson said Friday he will request the House Ethics Committee not release a potentially damaging report on the conduct of former Florida Representative Matt Gaetz, President-elect Donald Trump's nominee for Attorney General. I'm going to strongly request that the Ethics Committee not issue the report because that is not the way we do things in the House. And I think it would be a terrible precedent to set. So let's just keep all of the secrets under. We don't want any kind of transparency or anything, especially for somebody that is in charge of the attorneys general and going after people for breaking the law. No, we should let them have all kind of secrets and just get away with things. Makes sense. Makes sense. This is definitely on brand for the Trump cult. Let me know what you think about all of this. Join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So, talking about misogyny within the Igbo community or culture, it got some women jumping into my comment section, lots of women talking, but two ladies jumped into my inbox. This woman says, "Hi, I saw your video about Igbo men. My cousin got married to an Igbo man and she had some difficulty with childbirth at the beginning of their marriage. She had one miscarriage and this man started beating her constantly, saying that she was consuming his children because she's a witch. She would run from her house and stay at mine for months, refusing to go to her house. Eventually, the family asked her to go back to her husband, and she ended up beating him up. Ever since then, he couldn't beat her again. But the wild part to me is eventually the family asked her to go back to her husband. These people in her family would rather her be with an abusive man than be with him. And I cannot for the life of me understand what women did to be born a woman and to have your family hate you like that. Because if you want somebody to be in an unsafe situation, you must hate them, in my opinion. But I'm glad right here, ever since she actually beat him back up, that he hasn't done that again. So that's a good part of the story. So I don't know how the story ended, but okay, she at least gets a thumbs up to that part. But no thanks to her family, who really just preferred that she live with an abusive man. This next story time is longer and it definitely have some points that's difficult to hear. She says, "Good morning, Burb. I woke up this morning and watched your Igbo Women video, and it broke me. I'm currently in a fetal position crying my eyes out because it's not just despicable, but I lived it. I thought I was healed, but I wasn't. The pain, the shame, and the exploitation of little girls. These men are incredibly incompetent, destructive, illiterate, and bullies. My maternal grandfather married my mother off at 19 because he couldn't fend for his family to a man more than twice her age, in the process stifling her education. My father died when I was a little girl, less than 10 years into that marriage. My mother was still in her 20s and had little kids. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. They shaved my hair. I had luscious, full 4C hair. They shaved my mom's. I remember watching that day crying and in shame as they hounded my mother, attacking her with a cheap Bic shaving stick. Watching that, I couldn't even run to her for help, seeing how they humiliated her in front of her kids. They did the same to me. My full hair all gone. To make matters worse, the men in that family kicked us out of the compound when my mother refused their advances to be recycled again. They took all my father's resources, their brothers. They sold off the land, artifacts, and belongings and pocketed the money. When my mother tried to fight them through the Iwe, the banana court, she was told she had to bring a man to represent her. She couldn't even fight and needed to kiss ass to be heard. The sad thing was that other people had families who fought for them. My maternal grandfather could care less. My mother had to beg outsiders to help. In many cases, they wanted marriage in return or even to assault her. We were helpless. We lost everything. And I was raised in cruel level poverty. That's hard. So her husband dies, and then they put the women and children through all of this. This is the kind of thing that creates feminists because this woman couldn't speak up for herself and couldn't protect her children, all because the men came in and took everything. This is the reason why feminists or how feminists are born. Now that I have grown up and left that environment, I got a scholarship abroad, I have realized how much of my self esteem was crushed in that process. I didn't grow my hair since then, from primary school up to secondary school. Being forced to let go of that crown made me feel timid and reinforced subservience to men. It affected my relationship with myself. For the longest time, I didn't know how to take care of my hair. It also affected my relationship with men. Like the earlier story I told, I'd often be too tolerant of disrespect because I know I would be held responsible for their misbehavior. I have seen them get away with it so often, I thread a fine line in my dealings with them. I'm currently better now, currently 4B, and the audacity of those families. They are asking me to get married and, of course, asking me for money. Mind you, I'm not even 25 yet, but they're that shameless that they'll abuse you and expect compliance. There was one instant when I was back home and in a conversation with some vaguely familiar people, I mentioned I'll marry a foreigner. The vitriol that one of them spewed of how I am relinquishing my ownership to a foreigner and denying them of my kids. This man says, I will not allow it. You are getting married to a brother. Mind you, I don't know this man, and that's how audacious they are. In a way, this is validating because now I know it's not just me. Now I know I didn't do anything to deserve it. And it's just another reinforcement I needed to move on. And to the people saying it was a long ago, no, it is still happening. I am in my 20s and I have lived this. It makes me sad that people are so cruel to women and girls, that men would do this to women and girls simply because the man that's there is gone. It just really goes to show you that the natural inclination to protect really isn't there. Their natural inclination is to take, and oppress and control. And they really try to force this woman into a marriage and recycle her. And this is kind of culture. This is cultural. She says she's in her 20s and she experienced that. So that had to be what, in the early 2000s? This is just a mess, and women and girls deserve much better. Is it any, does it make the 4B movement any clearer for some women? And it's not because people like me are spreading the message, it's because of the things that they have gone through. Join the conversation. Let me know if you have any cultural context to add to this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. So just yesterday, this woman posted an update talking about what happened Thanksgiving of 2020, how she cooked a Thanksgiving turkey, but her man didn't want it, and she threw the turkey out the window off the balcony. Now, she was using a throwaway, so I couldn't find her post history, and I said that. And this woman kindly provided the actual post from 4 years ago. As you can see, it says 4 years ago. So we can actually read what happened 4 years ago. So this was posted in the Female Dating Strategy 4 years ago. They titled it, Low Value Man Pushes Woman to the Brink of Insanity on Thanksgiving. So she throws the whole turkey out of the balcony and has a breakdown. And they use the hashtag kick him out 2020. She says, for our first Thanksgiving, I stood on my feet cooking for my husband and I for 5 hours. We have an infant daughter who's not quite on solids yet. She had a brand new outfit for pictures for her first Thanksgiving. I asked husband to wash it for me and to dry it. It sat in the washer all day. He made no effort to dry it or to get her dressed. Husband never wants to put up food for leftovers. He leaves it out all night or expects me to do it. Then has the nerve to ask to eat fast food all week, then complains about being broke. I asked him last night to slice up the turkey and to place the containers to finish off this weekend. One simple request after 5 hours of cooking. I don't want to do that. I didn't ask you if you wanted, I'm sorry, if you didn't want to. I don't feel like it. I didn't ask you if you felt like it. Well, just get rid of the turkey. This man argues with me daily about everything. I lost it. I spent $145 this week on groceries for him to have Thanksgiving leftovers and other stuff to eat for dinner this week. I also purchased his essentials for his lunch he needs to pack for work. I had cut my hand trying to do it and really needed his help parting the leftover turkey. I'm vegetarian, so the turkey was for him. We need to save money instead, since we plan to have a home built, not die from morbid obesity from eating fast food daily. I took the turkey, pan and all, and launched it in the air off our balcony. He was so shocked, he stood there in awe. I'm at my wits' end. I'm so tired of this week. I honestly don't care about turkey, saving money, etc. anymore. I explained to him that going forward, I'll only be cooking dinner for myself and our daughter. He needs to figure out his dinner. He proclaimed how much BS, sorry, I couldn't see. He proclaimed how much bull BS he believes this is, but I think it's even more BS that he has a choice on whether he can help me or not. Our daughter cried all day and he barely tended to her, just hid in his bathroom on his phone 90% of the day. I'm done cooking only for him to not clean the kitchen or to package up the food for lunch the next day. Women have been getting tired for a while, and I do believe that social media has changed things. When women started doing these things like putting this on front and center in these social media platforms, it showed other women that they are not alone, but it also showed everybody when women rush to the comment section to say that you are not crazy, that this is not normal. It validated people's feelings. That's the reason why women are walking away, because we shouldn't have to do everything. We shouldn't have to do all of the cooking and cleaning and grocery shopping only to have somebody just hide in the bathroom when it's time to participate in the child rearing or caring for the crying baby or doing something as simple as putting clothes in the dryer. Women shouldn't have to do everything. And pushing women to wanting women to get married is only to give these men a mother like figure that does everything. And as women are pulling back, these men are going to have to figure out how to do this stuff on their own, because it's not fair for women to have to be the servants of the household simply because we're indoctrinated to get married. Absolutely not. Women are tired. So I'm glad that whoever sent me this, thank you for doing that, for giving me this link, because we definitely needed to see what happened. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.